Next case is cause number M332460. Case is style of state of Texas versus George Marion Dennison. Mr. Dennison, your full name is George Marion Dennison?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Mr. Dennison?
Doing well, Your Honor.
That's good. Mr. Dennison, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Dennison, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, sir.
You may put your hand down. Mr. Dennison, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Dustin Galmore. Attorney Galmore, how are you doing?
Good, Your Honor. How are you doing today?
I'm doing fine. Mr. Galmore, do you waive a record
Yes,
in Mr. Dennison's case?
we do.
Okay, now, Mr. Dennison, I have before me a document that is titled, information. This information alleges that on or about March 5th of 2022, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of discharge of a firearm in certain municipalities. Mr. Dennison, do you understand what you have been charged with?
Yes,
And to discharge, Mr. Dennison, how do you plead? Not guilty, guilty, or no contest?
no contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes,
And are you pleading no contest because you don't wish to fight or contest the charges?
yes,
Mr. Dennison, I have before me a document that is titled misdemeanor plea admonishment, also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Dennison, there are a set of initials on a line that's next to a box that's checked nolo contendere, which means no contest. Did you place your initials on this document?
Again,
On page 3 of the same document, there's a signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is this your signature?
yes,
On the next document is titled trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Do you recognize this document?
yes,
And is this your signature on the line that's titled defendant?
yes, it is.
At the top of this document, there are 2 boxes that are checked. The first box that's checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that
Yes,
statement?
sir.
The next box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that statement?
Yes,
We have a discovery certification.
Oh, we have it right here, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Dennison, I have before me a document that is titled Discovery Certification. Okay, do you recognize this document?
yes, sir.
And is this your signature on this document?
Yes, sir.
I also have before me a document that is titled, well, get that. Now, Mr. Dennison, I just showed you 3 documents that have your signature and your initials on it. Prior to signing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes,
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Dennison, are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment, and State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit. Mr. Galmore, gotta sign that.
Oh.
You dated. State, would you like to offer State's Exhibits 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Galmore, do you have any objections to state office state exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea of mine from state number 2, the probable cause affidavit, which is in the court's file?
No objection.
No objection. State's exhibits 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Galmore, you've advised and counseled Mr. Yeah, you put the day up. You got the year supposed to be here though.
We don't object.
It's all, yeah. I'm gonna white it out for you. Yes, the day is the 3rd of May,
Today's the
2023.
4th, isn't it?
Third.
Oh, all right. I looked at the top of that docket in his hand. It says 5/4/23.
Yeah, it's a jail room.
Oh, that's tomorrow. Okay. Now, Mr. Galmore, you've advised and counseled Mr. Dennison, is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, you're not.
Mr. Dennison, your attorney, Mr. Galmore has advised and counseled you. You satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided fully effective and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Mr. Dennison, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
We do, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
In exchange for plea of no contest, states agreed to offer 1 day in jail with credit for 1 day. It should be time served, Your Honor. We have to cash retire the court costs. Also, part of this plea agreement will be to forfeit the weapon.
Okay. Forfeit the weapon in this case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on a minute. Let's see, financial. 37. Yes, 10 will cover okay, now the state, Mr. Dennison is offering that you serve 1 day in the Jefferson County Jail. How many days has he served? He served 1 day, so you'll be given credit for that 1 day. Now, the court cost in this case is $337. You spend 1 day in jail, we can credit you as $100 toward the $337. Now, is he able to pay the $237?
Well, Your Honor, I apologize. I believed that generally the way it's done is if a person gets jail time as their punishment, that the court costs will be taxed and retired.
Well, I mean, but his jail time is right now is not covering the.
Well, no, I understand the 1 day doesn't cover the court costs. I just thought that whenever you get jail time as your actual punishment, since there's no fine and there's no probation, that the court costs will be taxed and retired with the jail sentence.
No, what normally happens is the guy go to jail, the jail gonna make him sit out that court cost.
Right. Well, we certainly don't want to do that. That
Right.
was the intention of our plea.
Right,
If-
but let me ask you the question, is he able to pay it? If I just asked him whether or not he can pay it or not.
I mean, he's retired on fixed income.
Oh, well, that's what I need to ask him.
Right.
Let me know what I was gonna do. Hold on a minute.
Social Security.
Yes.
Okay, let me do this here. I'm gonna go off the record pursuant to Article 1.25 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. All proceedings and trials are to be public. However, pursuant to Lilly versus State 365 Southwest 3rd 321, the right to public trial is not absolute and may be outweighed by other competing interests, such as the disclosure of non-public information. And I think that's what we get ready to go into. I need to ask him a couple of questions. And so, Mr. Galmore, are you requesting that this part of the proceeding be closed to the public
That is.
to
Yes,
prevent the disclosure of non-public information?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so at this time, this hearing is going to be closed to the public, and the court finds that the party advancing that is asking that this hearing be closed is protecting the rights of his client, and the court finds that the court has thought about other reasonable alternatives. There's no other reasonable, and so therefore based on that, the court finds that the findings are adequate for the closure. And so at this time, Ms. Bailiff, we're gonna need to get the general public outside of the courtroom while I ask them a few questions.